Let's get into the mailbag segment now. You guys have some fantastic questions for me, so I will bring them up here on screen and answer them. Esther here, are we getting Terrell Owens? Here is the deal on Terrell Owens. He's probably not joining the San Francisco 49ers. I talked about this rumor a week ago, and I gave it the one jet head. Pretty close to giving it fake news, but I'm not going to do that because I do hold out hope that T.O. can be the first active NFL player in the Hall of Fame. But in terms of going to the 49ers, I don't think so. It's kind of the same logic in terms of why the 49ers won't get Dez Bryant either. I think T.O. will just kind of throw a wrench into all of the progress that San Francisco has made at the wide receiver position. Like I mentioned here, Richie James is a promising guy. Dante Pettis as well. And these are guys that aren't even the top 3 wide receivers. So why, if you're John Lynch, risk perhaps having a locker room burden? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's something to keep in mind when you have really good cohesion at the wide receiver position. So Terrell Owens going to San Francisco, I don't think it's going to happen. Next up, Teresa. What do you predict in terms of total wins for the 49ers? So, Teresa, I think the ceiling for San Francisco this year, 10 to 11 wins. And perhaps it could be more, but the schedule is really tough. And here are some of my key matchups for 2018. You got the Raiders on Thursday Night Football at Seattle. That's always tough at CenturyLink. Green Bay in Lambeau, at Minnesota in Week 1, and then at the LA Rams in Week 17, there is a very real possibility that Week 17 game could be for the NFC West and perhaps a top 2 seed in the NFC. Yeah, folks, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Don't at me. There you go. All right, folks, one more reminder. We are presented by Game Time. Head on to chatsports.com/tickets to get up to 60% off all those sports tickets, theater tickets, and so much more. Think Tank on YouTube. Which Niner will be the first to score a touchdown in the preseason? Of course, Game 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. Here is my answer. Think Tank, you think it's Jerick McKinnon. I'm going to say this guy. Talked about him already. Richie James out of Middle Tennessee State. So the logic being the starters are only going to get maybe 1 or 2 series max in that first game. That's usually how it goes. So with that, I think Richie James actually makes some big-time electric plays in the preseason, and there's a possibility coming out of the slot there that he scores a red zone touchdown. It's the first one of the preseason, and boom, we're all excited. So there you go. That's my prediction. All right, Joe, with Chancellor and Marcel both fighting injuries right now, which of the two do you see being the backup strong safety? Let's take a look at my projected safety depth chart here. Obviously, it's Colbert, it's Tart, Jimmy Ward, they'll mix him in. Don Jones is there. And then I give Marcel Harris the edge over Chancellor. And Chancellor did not play in 2017 at all because of an injury, at least in the regular season, that is. So it's essentially a rookie campaign again there for Chancellor James. But I like Marcel Harris a lot. He's a big-time thumper. Yeah, he's going through the progressions of his own rehab right now because he dealt with an ACL tear. But still, I like Marcel a lot, so we'll see what happens there. You guys have a question for me, be sure to comment and we will answer them here on the show. Do you want to be famous? I got you covered. All right, Eric wants to be famous. From Facebook, what are the key factors in terms of why the 49ers won't sign Dez Bryant? Well, Eric, I kind of alluded to them in terms of the Terrell Owens argument. So for Dez Bryant, he's taking his time. He's being selective in terms of where he wants to go. But we do know that the 49ers are top of mind because of that Instagram comment that was, of course, deleted. But, you know, it's the internet. We have screenshot ability. We know Dez is interested in the 49ers. The only problem is GM John Lynch, and I don't think he actually is. I really do like the wide receivers for San Francisco. Niner Empire seems to be a little wary about the wide receivers there, but let me just put you guys at ease. I have a lot of confidence in the ability of these guys on the outside. So I don't think GM John Lynch really wants to mix things up in terms of that cohesion that they have on that depth chart. And I'm not saying Dez Bryant will be the biggest distraction in the world. I actually think T.O. would be worse. But I think Dez Bryant will probably be better suited elsewhere, maybe a New England, maybe a New York Giants, Buffalo Bills, etc. All right, next question here. We have Bray, frequent watcher of the show. Do you think the 49ers can beat the Vikings in Week 1? Let me tell you, I called it a measuring stick game because, boom, we're going to see what the 49ers are really made of in this matchup. I absolutely love the Minnesota Vikings from a third-party perspective. Legit Super Bowl contender. If they can beat Minnesota at US Bank Stadium, watch out. The San Francisco 49ers will be a Super Bowl 53 threat. Take a look at some of my key matchups here. Garoppolo against those DBs of Minnesota. Really good ones with Trey Wayne, Xavier Rhodes, Andrew Sandejo, and the list goes on. Buckner versus Elflein. Watch that on the interior. Elflein going into his second year at center for Minnesota, and he kind of stunk in his rookie year. DeForest Buckner should eat. All right, folks, once again, be sure to let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up in comments. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99 as well. This has been the 49ers Report presented by Game Time. I am Cam Rogers. We'll see you next time.